What is up, everyone? Welcome to the UTS report. We're doing things a little bit different this week as we're actually going live this week, and hopefully, we'll be going live every Saturday night to give you guys an up look or bring you guys the happenings of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush anime. So, it's been a hot minute since I've done a traditional episode of the UTS report. So, I would also like to thank you guys for being patient. So I thought we'd do a special live stream tonight. I'm sure no one's going to watch this, which makes this even better. So what happens? So getting right into the heart of the episode, Yuna is having these, she's back on her fantasies and her daydreaming about being married to Yuga. She's still madly in love with Yuga, which now leads Yuamu to start thinking about her future husband, knowing that she has a descendant. We also get a kind of a revelation here because we're shown a really quick, we're given a quick snapshot of the Odo family tree, and we see that there are plenty of generations separating Yuamu and Yuga, at least a solid 12 generations. So if you do the math real quick, let's figure this out. So if let's say that each Odo has their kid fairly young. We're going to say 25. We get 12. We're going to say 12 generations. 4, 5, 250. If you do the math, doing the math really quickly, this means that between Go Rush and Sevens, there's 300 years. There's a 300-year gap between Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. I am somewhat astounded by this revelation. I would have said maybe they were at the most great-grandchildren, where there's at least a solid, at least a solid 100, 200 years between Go Rush and maybe, I'll even say this, maybe a solid 150, but 300, holy smokes. That is a long time to be dead and buried. Think about it this way, to be really grim, Yuamu and them are going to be even UTS has got to be dead at this point by the time 7 starts. And I know that's a really grim way to look at it, but it's just, I don't know, some way I look at this. So anyway, going back into the episode. Now remember, this is all scripted. It's all live. None of this is scripted. So sorry about my rambling. So while Yuamu is pondering who her future husband would be, Zayat shows up and she's like, "Oh, you're destined to marry Zuijo for some odd reason." I mean, personally, I think if I had to pick a future husband for Yuamu, it would be UTS. But that also would mean that Yuga would have Valkyrian blood in him. But when you really think about it, and from a logistic standpoint, if there really is at least a solid dozen generations between Yuamu and Yuga, one, if there's that many generations between them, how does Yuga still have the Odo surname? Unless there's some kind of tradition where they always keep the Odo surname, that just wouldn't make sense, because if Yuamu gets married, wouldn't she take on the name of her husband? And more importantly, if everyone still had the Odo name, wouldn't that make Yuga Yuhi's direct descendant? See, that would make more sense for Yuhi to be Yuga's direct descendant because of the Odo surname. Because you could just get around this and say, well, they just kept having boys. Now, obviously, the odds that you're going to have nothing but boys who will keep the Odo surname for 300 years, that's it's possible, but it's really highly unlikely. Got my Chuck E. Cheese cup here. I'm so glad no one's watching this right now. I have no views, no likes. People don't even know I'm really doing this, right? Like I said, right now, this was kind of an off-the-cuff idea. UTS Report Live was kind of an off-the-cuff idea. I've been kind of wanting to test live streaming for a while to see how live streaming would go. So this is really more or less like it's not going to be taken serious. It's really just testing the live streaming features. Sorry, the video isn't atomically greeny too. It's kind of one of those. It's the camera that's on my laptop, so I got that going on. It kind of looks like the cursed video from the Japanese horror film Ringu. Oh, anyway, the tiny, the little Valgear girl that's always on the spaceship thing shows up. And I totally forgot she also has the hots for Zuijo, and she rush duels Zayat and wins. Yes, Zayat loses the duel. But don't worry, folks. Yuamu gets over her crush, or she gets over her excitement for Zuijo. So it's kind of still left up in the air who Yuamu's future husband could be. Now, obviously, they could just reveal it at the end of Go Rush. But again, personally, I kind of, if I had to pick one, I would have to say UTS. I mean, the one person, I mean, it's just the most obvious. I mean, I think of all the female protagonists in Yu-Gi-Oh's anime history, they all have more or less kind of a loving, kind of like a, it's very clear they have feelings for the main protagonist. I think I would say maybe, Vrain's Blue Angel may or may not have like deep feelings for Playmaker. And I could honestly say maybe Roman doesn't have feelings for Yuga, or at least they're not that strong. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and watch Summons. I am still watching Vrain's though. So anyway, that happens. And that's pretty much the heart of the episode. The heart of the episode, because at first I thought there wasn't going to be a duel. The Rush duel, again, it's super formulaic. It's over in like 2 turns. I say this before and I say it again, and I'll say it again. And I say this all the time when I talk about Go Rush. I feel like the show has become too formulaic. It feels like, okay, you could miss a month of this and not miss a beat. I mean, you might miss a plot point, but here it was just, again, this is one of those episodes. First of all, I felt like Yuamu should have dueled here. Why is Zayat dueling? Wouldn't this have made more sense for Yuamu to be dueling the little Valgear girl? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think this could have been, and honestly, this could have been a way to give Yuamu like an off-the-cuff loss. This could have helped kind of get, it could have gotten someone over, and it really didn't. This episode and this duel did nobody favors, and it felt like it was just here to pad out an episode list. Do I recommend this episode? Yeah, I kind of honestly do. I think that there was some entertainment in it. It's kind of cool to see Yuhi as Oats, Zuijo, and the other Darkman assassins go to the card shop, and they're all holding up packs. The road to you. Oh, Epoch duels Oats in the next episode. So I'm calling it right now. Oats is going to have her number. I'm still going by what the leaks are saying. Remember a couple weeks ago I mentioned, did I mention this on UTS report where they were leaking the leaks got out that showed what the rest of the series was going to be like, and one of them was Oats is going to eventually battle Yuamu, kind of like Oats versus the Dark Meister thing. Another thing that was on that list was Yuna will eventually confess her love to Yuga to UTS. Other predictions. I think these are more predictions than they are like official leaks. So here's what they're basically saying. Number 1, Yuna will eventually confess her feelings for Yuga to UTS. Another one. Epoch will have a graduation duel against UTS. Another one. Yuamu and Yuhi will be each other's final opponents, with Yuhi winning. And that's the prediction there. I predict the final. Well, it says right here it's Yuhi or Oats as Yuhi will be the final duel against UTS. I don't think that that's really I honestly think the final duel of Go Rush will probably be between Zuijo and UTS. I think because okay, I imagine this arc will probably end December, January, which gives us just enough time for like a final little mini arc or just a final, or let this be like a mini arc and have one big final arc. And if that's the case, ooh, I think the old stuff is going to get taken care of. I think Zuijo is going to be the final opponent. But that is that. And that is all that happens on Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush this week. So to sum up the episode, Zayat loses. And again, I felt like this episode did literally nobody any favors. I also felt that this was one of those where, again, the episode, I wouldn't say skip this one. I would say there was some entertaining. There was some entertaining value to this, but in all fairness, this one was okay. I don't see the series ending in December like a lot of people, or at least some people think. I think the majority of people think it's going to end in March it's going to end in March, and then there might be a week or two gap between Go Rush and Go Rush in the next series. Or it might just be like it's going to end the last Sunday in March so that the first Sunday in April will be the beginning of the new series. So we got that coming up. Konami did announce that they were going to be at Jump Festa. And as of right now, it doesn't look like they were doing... Yeah, Konami's going to be at Jump Festa. It looks like they're not doing anything anime related, but I really doubt that. I think they're going to do something anime related. It's either going to be the Konami animation studio thing, or it's going to be like the reveal of the next series, but I think it's going to be the very last thing they do. It's either going to be a full-blown trailer or it's going to be a teaser trailer. They're definitely, by the end of the year, we're going to know what's going on. Because you got to remember, last year they didn't do anything at Jump Festa really. But they posted it on X that there was going to be season 3 of Go Rush. So they might even do that too, where they just post it on X, where they're like, hey, this is the new series. Anyway, my name is Naka's Warrior. Thanks for joining me tonight. I know it's a short stream, but we're kind of just testing things out here. This wasn't meant to really be like anything major. We're hoping in the future we would start doing UTS reports where we're not covering just episodes, but the whole series in general. My plan is to try to go live every Saturday night right after Go Rush airs. Since it is daylight savings time where I am, that means we go back an hour, meaning that Go Rush would be airing at 5:30 p.m. my time Saturday nights, meaning we'll probably be going live about 6:10, 6:15 p.m. I'll leave it and I'll post it in community when I go live. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed one, and always Go Rush.